Today we are going to focus on the overall idea. That is, we have completed all the syllabus topics from the syllabus, and we will be focusing on another 3 questions from the overall sessions. So we will start writing. I'll be giving you 7 minutes for each question, 8 minutes for each question, and after that we will discuss each questions. First question, evaluate the steps taken so far by the Government of India to achieve the objectives under the directive principles of state policy. Start writing. You got time till 5:13. Start writing. Okay. Have you written the answer? Shall we discuss? Am I audible? Shall we discuss?
Yes, audible.
Okay, so the question is evaluate the steps taken so far by the Government of India to achieve the objectives under directive principles of state policy. So what you are going to write, or how will you frame this question?
In intro, I wrote that DPSP prescribes the ideals of a welfare state and along with social and economic democracy.
Yes.
And the government has brought in many measures to activate, achieve these goals.
Okay.
And then first page, I wrote about few steps taken, the actual steps taken to reach these goals. And in the second page, I have tried to say whether they have been successful or not.
Oh, okay. Good. Very good answer. Anyone else?
Sir, introduction, ഒരു ബ്രീഫ് ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ കൊടുത്തു. പാർട്ട് 4 ആണ് എന്ന രീതിയിൽ കൊടുത്തു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അതിന് മെയിൻ ബോഡി ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത് ചില ഡയറക്റ്റീവ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസ് ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റ് ആക്കി മാറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ റൈറ്റ് ടു എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ. രണ്ടാമത്തെ വേറെ വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചിലതിന് സ്റ്റാറ്റ്യൂട്ടറി റെക്കഗ്നീഷൻ ലെജിസ്ലേഷൻ വഴി കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഈക്വൽ വേജ് എന്നുള്ളത്, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ എൻവയോൺമെന്റ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ ആക്ട്, വൈൽഡ് ലൈഫ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ ആക്ട്, അങ്ങനത്തേത്. ദെൻ മൂന്നാമത്തെ സ്റ്റേജിൽ ചില എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് പോളിസീസ്, ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഗവൺമെന്റ് സ്കീംസും പോളിസിയും കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് ആവാസ് യോജന, ഡ്രിങ്കിങ് വാട്ടർ സ്കീം, ആ രീതിയിലാണ് ബോഡി ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തത്.
Any other idea? Okay, so related to this, that is evaluate the steps taken so far by Government of India. The idea mentioned by Tom and Hari is almost correct. What you should be doing is that the first part itself, that is you are going to mention about the structure of the, or the basic idea or the basic introduction of the, 1 minute. Okay, basic introduction of the DPSP. Any introduction can be given, or you can mention the part 4 of the constitution, or you can say that what is the ideals of DPSP. It is an ideal of welfare government, you can mention that. So that is the idea, that is brief introduction related to DPSP should be there. And after that you are going to mention about the steps taken by the government to fulfill the objectives. For example, it would be better to divide the various action taken by the government as discussed by Hari. That is, we have initiated some constitutional provisions, we have initiated some statutory provisions, and we have also initiated some executive action schemes, policies, etc. That can also be written. While writing this answer, try to bring maximum content as possible. Maximum content as possible, that is very important. Maximum content is required to answer the question, that is constitutional provisions. You can mention about the fundamental rights, how it become a fundamental for right to education is there. Other things related to constitution also can be measured. For example, the rights of LGBT through right to privacy, or rights of affirmative action, you can mention that. All these can be mentioned about in the constitutional provision. In statutory position, you can mention about the Maternity Benefits Act or equal wages or anything can be mentioned in the statutory provision. And executive also, we can also mention about the various actions, schemes and policies initiated by the government. Mention those schemes. Here content is the only requirement, that is evaluate the steps. That is the question here. You're going to mention about the schemes, and after that you are going to address the keyword, evaluate the various steps. So you are going to mention about the third part, that is whether it is lagging behind or not. That is how far it's been successful, what was the success of these policies, how much these policies were successful in bringing the final output. You can mention that how far it was successful. That should be added. Definitely you should add the success and failures or existing challenges in the policies. You should mention about the existing challenges and finally complete the output. So finally mention the output of or the existing issues, challenges, and complete that how much it is required or what are the types of DPSP that can be implemented. For example, you can mention about Article 44 or Article 50 and complete your answer. That is, there are certain other important DPSP that is required to answer the question. Address the requirement of the DPSP or the ideas of DPSP. So mention that and complete the answer. So that's it for this question. Any doubts?
Sir, conclusion എഴുതുമ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെ end ചെയ്യണം sir?
Any positive things can be added. For example, how the constitutional provisions or the provisions of DPSP can be implemented further, or what are the important DPSP still pending the ideas of executives or legislature. Anything can be added. Any forward-looking conclusion can be given. No issues with that.
Sir, നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ യൂണിഫോം സിവിൽ കോഡ് ആവശ്യമാണ്, അങ്ങനത്തെ റെക്കമെൻഡേഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ ഇതിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്യാവോ?
You can mention that the implementation of Article 44, Article 50 is essential.
Okay.
You can mention that, no issues. Okay, any other doubt? So we can move to the next question. Discuss how the judiciary has improved the reach and scope of fundamental rights over time. 10-mark question. You have 8 minutes. That means you should complete it by 5:27. Write the answers. 5:27. Completed by 5:27. Completed. Discuss how the judiciary has improved the reach and scope of fundamental rights over time. Hello. Shall we discuss?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is also another straightforward question. You need not worry about all the parts of question and all. Very direct question. How will you answer this?
I introduced by saying Article 32 provides that Supreme Court is the guardian of the fundamental rights, and Supreme Court has used it to further improve the scope and reach of fundamental rights.
Yes.
And then I started giving some examples of cases where the scope of fundamental rights has been expanded. The first one being the Maneka Gandhi case with due process of law, and then recent right to privacy.
Yes.
Under Article 21. Then I also mentioned about Shabrimala case where Article 17 was used as a form of untouchability. Then right to clean air was also recently brought in under Article 21.
Yes.
These are I didn't have more examples for these two. This is all I had.
Okay. That is enough. But the idea here is that you need to discuss whether judiciary was successful in improving the scope of fundamental right or not. You should also give importance to that also. Okay. Any other idea?
സർ എൻ്റെ മെയിൻ ബോഡി എഴുതിയേക്കുന്നത് ഒന്ന് ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 32 ഇറ്റ്സെൽഫ് ഒരു ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റ് ആണ് എന്നുള്ള പോയിന്റ് എഴുതി, അത് റിഡ്സിലൂടെ അത് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത്. പിന്നെ ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 13-32 ജുഡീഷ്യൽ റിവ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു സ്കോപ്പ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ അതോടുകൂടി ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റ് ഹൈലൈറ്റ് ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിനുള്ള പ്രൊവിഷൻ കിട്ടും എന്നുള്ളത്. ദെൻ കേശവാനന്ദ ഭാരതി കേസിൽ ബേസിക് സ്ട്രക്ചർ വന്നു. അത് ഈവൻ ഇതിലാണെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റിന് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു പാർലമെന്റിന്റെ പവറിനെ ലിമിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റിനെ പ്രൊട്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് എഴുതി. ദെൻ മനേകാ ഗാന്ധി കേസ് എഴുതി. ദെൻ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് പബ്ലിക് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ലിറ്റിഗേഷൻ PILU വന്നതിന് ശേഷം ലോക്കൽ സ്റ്റാൻഡി വേണ്ട എന്നുള്ളത്. സോ അതോടുകൂടി വന്ന മിഡ് ഡേ മീൽ സ്കീമും റൈറ്റ് ടു ലൈവ്ലിഹുഡ് എന്നുള്ള സാധനം ആയി എന്നുള്ള അങ്ങനെ എക്സ്പാൻഡ് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് എഴുതി. അതിന്റെ ഇവാലുവേഷൻ ആക്ച്വലി എഴുതിയില്ല.
സർ, ബോഡിയിൽ എക്സ്ട്രാ ആയിട്ട് റീസെന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ചേഞ്ചസ് എഴുതി. ഇവർ പറഞ്ഞത് പോയിട്ട് മറ്റേ ആധാർ കമ്പൽസറി അല്ല എന്ന് റീസെന്റ് ചേഞ്ചസ് അത് എഴുതി. പിന്നെ യൂത്തനേഷ്യയുടെ കാര്യം അത് എഴുതി. പിന്നെ മറ്റേ സെക്ഷൻ 37 എടുത്ത് ഇൻവാലിഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് അത് എഴുതി റീസെന്റ് ആയിട്ട്.
എക്സാമ്പിൾസ് അല്ലാതെ ഫ്രെയിംവർക്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ചേഞ്ച് ഉണ്ടോ?
ഇത് കൺക്ലൂഷനിൽ എവർ ചേഞ്ചിങ് അനുസരിച്ച് ജുഡീഷ്യറി സ്റ്റെപ്സ് എടുക്കേണ്ടത് നല്ലതാണ് എന്നുകൂടെ റെക്കമെൻഡേഷൻ പോലെ എഴുതി.
So when you write this question, remember few things. Your examples, if you can write 3 or 4 examples, that is enough. But try to start from the basic structure doctrine itself. It will be good. Maneka Gandhi case aanengilum kazhapilla, that is also fine. So start from that Maneka Gandhi case, then the PAL, and later it how it affected the right to livelihood, then right to privacy can be mentioned. All these right to information, you can definitely mention right to information, or you can also mention the LGBT rights, right to equality, how the right to equality has expanded for LGBTs and all. So any 4 examples, relevant examples is okay. But the question here it is asking for discuss how the judiciary has improved the reach and scope of fundamental rights. How the judiciary has improved both reach and scope of fundamental rights. You should give importance to that word, that is discuss, and also to reach and scope. All these statements are primarily focusing on the scope of public administration. That is, scope is increasing. Instead of having right to life, they increase the scope, such as right to privacy was brought into, right to livelihood was brought into, right to environment was brought into. You should also mention about the other thing, that is reach, LGBT rights, that is reach. New members of the society can join into the fundamental rights part. That should be mentioned. And the question statement or the question directive asking for you to discuss the statement or discuss the idea of judiciary. That is, when you answer a question on discuss, you need to give, instead of just giving certain examples, you should also mention about the how it is impacting the society, or give a little bit more, or one or two sentence discussion should be there. How, whether it is good or bad, whether it is essential, or the activities of judiciary was enough to satisfy the requirements of the other members. You should also mention that. So our strategy should be, first one, cite any recent verdicts of judiciary expanding the scope of fundamental rights, and list out the different judicial pronouncements where the scope has increased. So you should also mention the scope and reach of the, you should mention about reach, this is not scope, reach, and you should also mention about scope. And while doing that, you should also give a discussion, whether it was successful, whether it was adding any success to the society, or any improvement in the current situation of the society. Okay, am I clear? You should give some discussions, whether it was successful or not, in the last part. That is enough.
സർ, റീച്ചും സ്കോപ്പും തമ്മിലുള്ള വ്യത്യാസം എന്താ, എങ്ങനെയാ അത് ഡിഫറൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്?
Reach, adding new members to the fundamental rights. For example, right to equality was not there for LGBT till the right to privacy. Only when right to privacy was there, right to equality was extended to LGBT. That is, their sexual orientation is not a matter of discussion. That was given in the right to privacy. There is a 3-tier evaluation procedure for right to privacy. So you should add that. Reach, number of people, newer members added to the society. Right to livelihood, there is a case on Olga Trellis case related to street street vendors and street vendors. Their rights were extended. Reach, that is the reach. Scope means expanding the scope of one fundamental right. For example, right to information was added into Article 19 and Article 21. Right to life, the scope of right to life was extended to right to privacy, right to livelihood, right to clean air, etc. So it would be better to divide in such a way. Am I clear?
Okay, sir.
Any other doubts, Tom?
In the discussion, can we write this point that sometimes these judicial pronouncements of expanding is ignored by the executive or the legislature?
Yes, definitely you can mention that. Even though they are mentioning about right to privacy, till now there is an issue of
No data
privacy.
protection or anything.
Yes, there is no data protection. You can mention that. Definitely you can use that. Any other doubt? So the question may be very simple, but try to remember, try to address all the important keywords in the question. If there is a specific 2 words used for asking the question, then you need to address that also and address in accordance with the question directive as well. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next question is, to what extent does the Right to Information Amendment 2019 address the institutional challenges faced by Chief Information Commissioner and Information Commissioners, also evaluate the additional measures required to improve transparency and accountability in the working of RTA? This is a 15-marker question. You have 10 minutes. Completed by 5:46. Okay, so shall we discuss?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The question is, to what extent does the Right to Information Amendment Act 2019 address the institutional challenges faced by Chief Information Commission and Information Commissioners, also evaluate the additional measures required to improve transparency and accountability in the working of RTA? How will you answer this?
Sir, the first part is very contrary, because it actually increases the challenges for the information commissioner, right?
Yes.
So can we say like that explicitly?
You can mention that the question is asking about to what extent. You can give that the idea of why this amendment was brought into. You can mention that in order to ease the administrative process, this was brought into. But most of the time there can be certain issues. For example, accountability cannot be ensured, or all these things can be added into this portion. That is, to what extent. Whenever they are asked about how far or to what extent, they are looking for a stand on the both sides. That is, you need to take a stand in the pro session, and also there are some cons in the amendments. So you should address both of that. There is no issues. Definitely address that. Okay. Next is first part. You can mention about the amendment. You give representation of these amendments, or what are the amendments of brought into Right to Information Act, and how it is going to affect the working of Chief Information Commissioner or Information Commissioners. Next one, you also need to evaluate the additional measures required to improve transparency and accountability. What are the additional measures required?
Qualification to be mentioned for Chief Information Commissioner.
Yes, qualification you can mention. Autonomy you can mention. Yes, Joseph?
സെൽഫ് ഡിസ്ക്ലോഷറിന് വേണ്ടി ഒരു പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഇല്ല RTI-ല്? മറ്റേ
Yes,
രാജസ്ഥാനിലെ
definitely.
ജൻസുവിധ പോർട്ടൽ.
Oh, yes. That is self-disclosure. That is non-strategic self-information can be disclosed by themselves. That can be mentioned. Definitely, you mentioned that. It would be better to go for second ARC recommendations regarding this right to information, regarding the suggestions. It would be better. You can give the commission's recommendation, various recommendations according to second ARC commission, the Official Secrets Acts. That should be eliminated. That is recommended by second ARC. And also there should be a proactive disclosure of information. remember this keyword, proactive disclosure of information, that is also mentioned by second ARC. So these type of recommendations can be given in your answer. Just search for second ARC recommendation on right to information. That is enough for answering your questions. So give importance to that. That is what is second ARC recommendations related to. These recommendations will get you more mark than just giving certain suggestions. If you are mentioning second ARC while writing your answers, it will be way better. Okay. Am I clear?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's it for today. Tomorrow you will be having the first test, Indian polity and governance. Try to write that answers and send it to us. If you want to write in offline mode, you can also come and collect the papers tomorrow morning by 11 a.m. It will be available. You can come and collect. Do write the answers. Do not make it pending. Complete it tomorrow itself, and we will give you evaluation within 2 or 3 days. Okay. So thank you all. We will see you day after tomorrow.